Hey everyone, today is a truly a fascinating dream guest, welcoming the none other than Kristina Mand Lakhiani to the Real Knowledge Club show. She is one of the co-founder of one of the world's largest, biggest company like Mindvalley and one of my personal favorite as well. And she's like leading publisher, personal growth, mother of two kids, leading publisher in personality growth, and she has dedicated her last 17 years of her career in like personality development, learning from the best mentors out there. She's author of multiple books like 7 Days to Happiness, Live by Your Own Rules, and an upcoming and really a fascinating book called like Being Flawesome. I'm so grateful to like Mindvalley also. Because of Mindvalley I was able to know my role model Naveen Jain, whom I had brought recently on my interview show, right? The boldness, the bold thinking. Thanks to Mindvalley, Vision Lakhiani sir and Kristina as well. I'm so grateful to have you here, right? And without any further delay, I want to welcome you from my bottom of my heart, Kristina, to the Real Knowledge Club show.
Thank you, Akshay, for having me. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely awesome. Yeah, Kristina, like I'm so curious to know about your story since last 17, 18 years. How did you get started and came into this, and how you created such a big, massive company like Mindvalley?
So, my journey to Mindvalley has been, as I like to joke, accidental and a little it wasn't my choice, to be honest, because I started my career in politics and government in Estonia, and I was hoping to dedicate my life to charity or non-profit sector. I even started a career in UN at some point, but I got married at the age of 25 and moved to New York. And Vision is the person who has always been passionate about business, about personal growth, and he was the one who wanted to do something in that sphere forever. So he started Mindvalley. I was helping him along the way, but still hoping to pursue my own career until a little later, years down the road, I actually realized that this is my path, even if it was unplanned or accidental or even reluctant to a degree. It was my path. Sometimes, I think it's so ironic how sometimes we don't know our destiny until we see it in front of us.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Like it was a great journey. Like what actually inspired you like to create such an amazing books, create so many like your keynotes. I recently saw like your interview with Priyanka Jain, like Naveen Jain's daughter. It was so awesome about like women changing the world, right? What inspires you? What ignites you? From where do you get that energy and passion?
Well, by the way, Priyanka just got engaged, as far as I know.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yes.
congratulations to her. Well, I was in personal growth for by now 20 years, and I started as a person behind the scenes because an entrepreneur, marketer, producer. So I've seen the other side of personal growth, or let's say, uh, the kitchen of personal growth. So obviously, it all rubbed off eventually. But for me to transition from being an entrepreneur and a producer to becoming an author, I had to experience my own defining moment in life. So, in my case, it was 40 years when I realized that everything that I was doing until then was perfect, was right, but wasn't what made me happy. So it's the fate of a lot of us perfectionists and ambitious go-getters who are incredibly, competitive, ambitious, have goals in front of them. We go full steam ahead, and sometimes not even pausing for a moment to ask, is that what I really want? And don't get me wrong, I actually loved everything about my life. I never had to compromise for the sake of success or somebody else's opinion. Yet I felt discontent. And what was worse, I felt really guilty for feeling discontent, because you have created that picture of success that everybody aspires to, and you dare to not be happy with that. uh,
Yes.
and that's when I started feeling that I have a message in me which I need to share. And that's why I moved from being in business to becoming an author, because it's a very different role. You know, one thing is you help others to get the message across. The other thing, when you feel that the message is in there and you are the only person who has that message and who can share it in your way. Of course, there are other people who share a similar message, but my journey took me on stage, and where I get energy and inspiration, I call myself everyday life philosopher, and I think that's my favorite title. I think every day is an opportunity to learn and to discover and to change your paradigm every single day. I once my phone broke and I had to switch to another phone. I've been using iPhone forever, and then I switched to Pixel, and I had, life revelations in that really mundane experience. So the question is, how do you take your life? Do you have the curiosity to ask yourself questions and to look for answers? Because transformation doesn't come from ideas; it comes from your experience, and that's what has always been there. So yeah, I get to interview wonderful people. I get to speak with a lot of wonderful teachers. But no matter how much you are exposed to wisdom, your transformation is your own journey and your own doing. Nobody can experience it for you except yourself. So yeah, that's all about what kind of questions you ask yourself.
Absolutely, that's amazing. It's all about being curious and asking the right questions at the right time. And that was so lovely, awesome.
You
And
know
then,
what? Don't even
yes,
bother about right questions. Just ask questions. Any questions are better than no questions.
absolutely. I remember the quote, like the US president once said, asking any question is like better than not asking any question. If you ask a wrong question, you look like a fool once. But if you don't ask, you remain fool forever. Abraham Lincoln, I believe, told that.
He was a wise man, so yeah, quite
Yeah.
right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Christina, the next question which I have is like how to be authentic and unique. Today, the world has like 8 billion people on this planet Earth, right? What we have to do so that we stand out, right? Like, how do we actually put our mess to our message? Because everybody has a message, everybody have gone through a problem, right? How do we showcase that to the world?
So authenticity and standing out are not exactly the same things. Because
Yes.
authenticity is about you being true to what you really are, and I have to give a warning that authenticity academically is only researched within the field of anthropology, social psychology, or any kind of studies which have to do with human life experience. Don't study authenticity. I do not know why. There are maybe different words that are being studied, but authenticity is essentially about being true to you, and standing out is a relationship with the outside world, or even sending a message across is a relationship with the outside world. So, a relationship with the outside world is a vector. You're the beginning, and the outside world is the direction of the vector. Whereas authenticity is a force without a direction, because it is your relationship with you, which is why very often they are a little contradictory, very often. So now, if being truly you means standing out and requiring attention, then you can combine being authentic and standing out and being a leader. But if being you, truly you, means having space for yourself, maybe not sticking out, maybe you are reserved, maybe you like to be alone, then standing out might not be the thing that you're going for. So I do not know which question you want me to answer. The question about being authentic or the question about standing out?
Yeah, how to stand out? Basically, now if we go to like Harvard or like any school, hundreds of people go through the same information, right? How, as a great leader, as a great man or woman, how can we create such a great impression like all great leaders have done, and even the speakers at like Mindvalley are doing it?
So it's not really about authenticity. Actually, it's about leading other people. And here
Yes.
I would probably loosely quote Richard Branson. We had a conversation on his island, and it was actually Vision who was having a conversation. Uh, it's a longer story, but never mind.
Yeah.
I won't
Yes.
go into detail. It was funny, but basically. Vishen asked Branson about his ability to have so many companies and so many of them being successful. And his answer was that so I'm loosely quoting, he said, when I get passionate about something, I find people who share my passion but can execute what needs to be done better than I would do it. And then I get out of their way. So I think that when it comes to leadership, it is about having a passion about something and finding people who share your passion. Now, there is an interesting thing about leadership. As a leader, you are what you are, and you need people, of course, to achieve your goals, because success, as they say, is a team effort. But you wouldn't be able to work with everyone. And it is
Right.
a very important task to find people who work well with you. And that means both employees and partners, but it also means your clients and your followers. You really have to find your tribe, because we all have different styles. You say we are 8 billion people, and how do you stand out? How are you unique? The thing is that we are all unique. Every
Right.
single human being has their own journey. The question is that very often we are afraid of our uniqueness, and we think that our uniqueness is our weakness. So we try to emulate people who have succeeded before us or who are succeeding next to us, and that's where we are losing we are losing touch with what makes you special, what makes you valuable, what makes you unique. And
Absolutely.
that is a very different journey altogether. So leadership is one thing, being you is another thing, and making people follow you is well, it has more to do with
Three
leadership.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, lovely. I liked it. And yeah, Christina, like I actually met like a vision in NAS Summit in this year 2022. And one thing what I see is like how much hard work y'all must have done in order to come here, right? Like the power of mastermind, right? Initially when y'all started your journey, what was the difficulties y'all faced, right? Like today, like impacting millions of people across the globe, how did you overcome like working in a team? Because when I was reading the book also, like the Buddha and the Badass and even the interviews, Vision credited a lot of success to you, because when nobody believed, you believed. For every great man there is a successful woman. That's what I came to know.
Well, we still so for those who don't know, we have divorced with Vishen 4 years ago, and but we still have each other's backs. So we'll always, I guess, we'll always be we'll always be partners in crime, because we function. We,
Yes.
we function together. Now, of course, with that said, I cannot read Vishen's mind, and I cannot put words in his mouth. So he will have to speak for himself, and I will have to speak for myself. But I have been on this path the whole time, so I can tell you this thing: there is no such thing as how did you overcome your challenges, and now you are doing this. Challenges keep coming, and
Hmm.
the more you grow, the bigger the challenges. The more people you touch, the bigger the challenges. So there is no, if you think that you'll just get over that hill and then it will be smooth sailing, no, it doesn't work like that. You have to brace yourself for constantly solving problems. Now the question is, you also said hard work. Well, the question is, how do you define your journey? I am a huge opponent of hard work. I don't like hard work, and I don't believe in that. And I think this is one of the most damaging paradigms in our contemporary society. I don't say that success comes without any work, but I
Hmm.
refuse to subscribe to the paradigm of hard work. So for me, I challenges are there, but I take them as questions to find answers to, or problems to solve, and that is so much more empowering, because it gives you, it's, you don't look at it as a problem as much as an opportunity to change, to grow, to become better, to discover something. And I choose very carefully the paradigms that I apply to my life. So yes, business is a succession of questions that you find answers to, or problems that you solve. but it can be an enjoyable process, truly enjoyable process.
Absolutely. It's like ups and downs. Like we have to go with the wave, not against the wave, right? Like we have to constantly be striving.
That's a different level of game altogether. That requires a lot of confidence, and it is really hard to learn the concept of letting go and trusting in the very beginning when you still don't have the reservoir of faith enough. You still doubt yourself. It's natural. You go into something and you wonder, am I going to succeed? Is it going to happen? So for you to be able to trust, to let go, you really need to grow your confidence in, well, in yourself, in your business, in your partners, in the universe, and that it comes, and it's even more enjoyable, but it's a different pilotage altogether. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's crazy awesome. And yeah, Christine, I'm so excited about your new book, like the new book. And what is the term like Flawesome, right? Can you tell us a little more about it? And what are the three things like you are going to share? Because all our audience have heard the term awesome, super, all these things. They have heard for the first time something called Flawesome.
So, so Flawesome is essentially, so I apply it to humans. So we probably understand what it means to be perfect. This is the idea that we have. If I'm a better version of myself, that's how I'm going to be. So we create this vision of perfect me, and we aspire for that. Most of the people who listen to podcasts, go to master classes, go to events, we are all perfectionists, whether we like it or not, to a great degree.
Yes.
If not in our work, then at least in our self-image, because we want to be the better version of ourselves. Now, Flawesome is the exact opposite of that.
Yes.
Well, the thing is that, I'll bring another analogy. When a person falls in love, there is such a period in that process where you actually see your object of love as an ideal, not a real human being. It is very massively aided by our biology, which drugs us into seeing things distorted. But when we fall in love with a person, we close our eyes to the red flags, and we explain them away, and then we notice the things which tick the boxes. So we fall in love with an ideal, and then, of course, after time, when biology is a little chills, and we start seeing the person for what they are, we realize that our ideal and the real person are not exactly the same, and there's a gap. So we do the same to ourselves. We have a picture of perfection. This is what it means to be the perfect me, and we focus on it, and we want to be it. But because we are so obsessed with perfection, we like in the process of falling in love, we'll close our eyes to things which we don't want to accept. We push them into the corner, we sweep them out under the rug, or we try to eradicate them. So that obsession with perfection creates a huge volume of darkness where our dragons lurk. And dragons, I mean, those things about ourselves which we don't like, which we don't want to accept, which we would like to eradicate out of our nature. And you can't eradicate. You can't heal from being you. You are what you are. So the idea of Flawesome is having the courage to look into that darkness, to find those, I call them dragons, look them in the eye, and just realize that you are what you are thanks to them partially. They have contributed to you being what you are. But not just that. A lot of the times, our biggest value lies in those dragons. If we have the courage to look them in the eye and to accept them as part of our journey. And you were asking, how do you stand out? How do you find your unique value? That's exactly how you do. You find the courage to take a flashlight, go to the dungeon, shine the flashlight in the darkest corner, find that dragon, look it in the eyes, and just accept this is also part of me. I'm not that perfect version that I aspire to. I have flaws. And they are there for a reason, Can you find your value in those dragons? If you can, that what will make you truly strong and unique and someone that people will want to follow.
Absolutely, that's super crazy awesome. Are you ready for like rapid round where I'll ask like one-liner questions and you can just tell like
I'll
that?
try. It goes against
Awesome.
my nature, but I will try.
Yes. How do you define success right now, like before and after? Like today, you are at a stage like you have achieved so many things in your life, everything, right? What's the definition of success to you?
I will not give you a one-liner. I will give you a one-liner
Yeah,
and then I will have to qualify it.
sure.
Success, I define exactly as society defines it. It's success professional, where you achieve something, you're the best in the world in some area, or at least the best in your region or best in your street, doesn't matter. Or financial success, which is, you have the money that you consider you need for the freedom. I refuse to stretch that definition thin and to start adding things like relationships, happiness, satisfaction, because that's not about success. Success is success. That's what society talks about. Happiness is about happiness. And when
Mhm.
we refuse to take it as an important goal, when we try to lump it under everything else, we'll never really access happiness. There's a huge danger in not calling things by their names, because on one side, if you think that happiness is unimportant, you will not be able to become happy, because how can you be anything which you do not value, which you do not
Right.
prioritize, right? But then also, if you want to stretch the idea of success thin to the point that it has to encompass everything, then you will lose focus on what success actually means. So it's a slippery slope which doesn't serve either happiness or success. So, in my definition, success is exactly what society says about success. It's becoming the best, or like by some standard, good in certain area. And happiness is actually feeling happy, content. It's a different phenomenon altogether.
Absolutely. I love that. And what will be the three piece of advice you want to give to all the young entrepreneurs who are like in their 20s and 20s, boys and girls?
Wow. Um, that's a hard question. Well, one thing for sure, I think, make business in the area that you truly enjoy, because
Mm,
life is a journey. It's not a destination. The destination is all the same to all of us. So, like the Buddhists say, don't do dishes for them to be clean, do dishes for the process of doing dishes. So, take your business the same way. Don't do it for the pile of diamonds that you're expecting to achieve. Do it for the process. Once you find joy in the process, you will not need willpower. You will not need hard work, sacrifices, anything. You will enjoy the process. You'll do it because you love the process, and that's the only way to go through hard times. And there will be hard times. Now, that's when it comes to business. When it comes to life in general, I'll give a combined advice, and I'll
yes.
quote. It's one of my favorite quote nowadays. It's Cinderella's mother from 2005 movie. She said, "Have courage and be kind." And these are
Mhm.
important things. Have courage and be kind. So three, as I
Absolutely. I see you in that. Like you are so humble and awesome. And what is the legacy like you want to leave to the world? Like if you were to die one day, right? Like what is that like you want to be remembered for in this world?
it's not about if we'll all die one day.
Yeah.
I'm leaving a lot of things. I have children. I'm very proud of them. I have business. I've written a book. I have my programs. I have my teachings. And I've also built a farm recently, and I'm planning to start a museum. So there are a lot of things. I think there are so many things we're leaving behind. Just
Yes.
do meaningful stuff. That's all I want to say.
Absolutely, Christina. And I'm so excited for your new book. Can you tell us like when it is going to launch and how can we grab? Is it available on Amazon or like should we go to your website? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's launching in June. So depending on when this podcast comes out, it will be either right before or right after. And you can buy it on my website. I would prefer you buying it on my website, of course. It's because it comes with a bonus. But
Yes.
you can buy it on my website. It's kristinamand.com, and Kristina is written the Estonian way. It's with a K, and Mand, my family name, is MAND /book. Super simple, kristinamand.com/book. That's where I'd like you to buy it, but of course it will be available on Amazon as soon as it launches. And
Absolutely.
bookstores, by the way.
Yes. Yeah.
I said in the bookstores as well in US.
Yeah, I highly recommend all the people who are watching this from anywhere in the world, just go right now, grab the book, take the book. It's going to be some of the best, right? Learning from the best is the fastest way to grow, right? And thank you, Christina, for sharing your super valuable wisdom with us. Any last words before we conclude for all the people who are watching this as Real Knowledge Club show?
So I'll just scratch the surface. We won't get into that topic deep, but
Yes,
Dalai Lama once told me, Christina, you can't help anyone if you're not happy. So success, business, that's all good, but happiness is important. Please value it.
right. If you're not happy from inside, we cannot be happy outside, right? Be a giver. Yeah.
That as
Thank you
well.
so much, Christina. Like I was able to learn so many things, right? My mind was like blown away. Thank you so much for sharing your amazing wisdom. Excited to meet you one day, maybe in India or like Dubai or anywhere in the world.
Oh, in Dubai as well, yes. Actually, thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye. See
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank you.